Hello, my name is Quỳnh. You're watching Vietnam Today. Let's check out the headline for this hour. Vietnam calls for continuous goodwill implementations of UNCLOS. Vietnam strengthened bilateral cooperation with UNESCO, its member state. Ninh Bình in lotus blooming season dazzle tourists. Permanent Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs Nguyễn Minh Vũ called on member states to continue implementing their 1982 United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea UNCLOS with a goodwill spirit, while addressing the 34th meeting of State Party to the UNCLOS held in New York from June 10 to June 14.
Permanent Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs Nguyễn Minh Vũ emphasized the role and importance of the convention as the Constitution of Oceans, a comprehensive legal document that regulates all activities of countries in the field of seas and oceans. Regarding the issue, the head of the Vietnamese delegation suggested member countries implement maritime policies responsibly and legally and work together to ensure peace, stability, prosperity, and sustainable development. He affirmed that a peaceful and stable environment to serve the sustainable development in the East Sea can only be guaranteed when countries establish their maritime zones in accordance with the 1982 UNCLOS and seriously exercise their sovereignty, sovereign rights, and jurisdiction under the convention, as well as maintaining restraint to jointly solve disputes by peaceful means in accordance with international law, including the UN Charter and the UNCLOS.
Vietnam has been elected as Vice President of the General Assembly of the State Party to the UNESCO Convention for the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage at the 10th session of the General Assembly.
Deputy Minister of Foreign Affairs Ha Kim Ngọc, Chairman of the Vietnam National Commission for UNESCO, led the Vietnamese delegation to attend the session. At the event's opening meeting, the convention's country members trustfully elected Vietnam Vice President of the General Assembly of the State Parties to the 2003 convention, bringing the number of key UNESCO mechanisms that Vietnam has joined to 6. This election is of great significance as it has clearly reflected Vietnam's increasingly high international position and reputation. Minister Ha Kim Ngọc called on countries and UNESCO to continue to support Vietnam in the fields of education, culture, and science through experience sharing, policy consultation on human resource development, innovation, promotion of cultural values and heritage for sustainable development.
Japan show interest in Vietnam North-South Express Railway. Vietnamese install noodles removed from EU list of the food safety control. Japanese ambassador to Vietnam Ito Naoki, during his recent meeting with the leadership of the Ministry of Transport in Hanoi, said Japan showed its keen interest in Vietnam North-South Express Railway project worth approximately $70 billion.
At the meeting, Minister of Transport Nguyễn Văn Thắng thanked Japan for having provided preferential loans to Vietnam to undertake infrastructure construction projects over the years, noting Japan is always the leading ODA donor to Vietnam, having granted up to $15 billion to 52 ODA projects in the country. Ambassador Ito Naoki, for his part, said Japan is keen to increase cooperation with Vietnam in the field of infrastructure development, especially transportation infrastructure. Japan is willing to share experiences and support Vietnam in developing transportation infrastructure projects, including new ones such as the North-South Express Railway, Ho Chi Minh Long Thanh Dầu Dây Expressway, and Liên Chiểu Port, said the ambassador. He asked the Vietnamese side to provide detailed information about the North-South Express Railway project so that the Japanese side would consider the possibility of cooperation.
Vietnam install noodle will be exempted from increased food safety control in the EU starting from July 2nd, as they have met related regulations.
This exemption comes as the EU's Commission implementing Regulation 2024-1662 was issued on June the 11th, amending the implementing regulation on the temporary increase of official control and emergency measures governing the entry into the Union of certain goods from certain third countries, implementing regulations and number 178 of the European Parliament and of the Council. The EU has also adjusted inspection regulations for other Vietnamese farm produce. The inspection frequency at the border has been increased from 20% to 30%.
Blessed with nature, with charming and poetic beauty, Ninh Bình is renowned not only for its grand and majestic mountain ranges, but also for its lotus ponds that exude a fragrant aroma during the summer days. Currently, the lotus ponds are in full bloom, adding a pristine beauty to the countryside and attracting both locals and tourists who come to visit and take photographs.
From May to July is a peak blooming period for lotuses across ponds in Ninh Bình province. One of the best places to view the lotuses here is at Múa Cave tourist area located in Khê Đồ Hạc village, Ninh Xuân Commune, Hoa Lư district.
The pond is vast, so we had to coordinate with local farmers to take care of the lotuses, ensuring they bloom beautifully and evenly. This time every year, we see the most tourists to the area.
The lotus, symbolizing purity, is believed to embody the spirit and soul of the Vietnamese people. The lush green leaves and delicate pink or pure white lotus petals render the historical image of Hoa Lư Ninh Bình more serene than ever.
I feel lucky to visit during such a beautiful lotus season. Next time I will bring friends to see these lotus ponds.
In recent years, many local residents have planted lotus to create additional tourist attractions and improve livelihood. Visiting the lotus ponds in Ninh Bình, tourists can also experience rowing boats to pick lotus flowers and taste unique lotus porridge and lotus tea. For a long time, lotus has not only been a beautiful flower, but also brought economic value for the residents.
That's the end for today. Thanks for your watching and see you next time.